What would happen if all sorcerers together fought the unbeatable Gojo Satoru? Would they be able to win, or will Gojo remain unbeaten? It's an epic clash we've all been waiting for, and you probably think they won't stand a chance. But keep in mind that Gojo was being pushed to near death by Sukuna. Although the fight is still going on, and Gojo is on rage mode, fighting one strong enemy is not the same as fighting 7 different enemies with unique techniques and domain expansions simultaneously. Now, before we dive straight into the showdowns, let's take a tiny detour and refreshing all we know about Gojo's insane powers and his immeasurable cursed energy. So first up, we have the curtain. Gojo can create an impenetrable barrier that either keeps foes out or traps them inside. It's like his own personal sorcerer's fort. Uninvited guests, strictly not allowed. Gojo's Limitless is a rare and immensely powerful curse technique, derived from the limitless potential of the universe. This allows him to manipulate space at will, a tool he wields to deliver devastating blows and defend against almost any attack. It's like playing chess with a chessboard you can reshape at will. Checkmate! At the heart of Limitless is Infinity, an ingenious passive technique that puts an infinite amount of space between Gojo and his opponent, making it virtually impossible to land a direct hit on him. Imagine trying to reach the end of a rainbow that just keeps extending. Frustrating, right? Next, we have the tricolor sorcery, blue, red, and purple. Blue utilizes the limitless void to draw in everything around it, while red is the opposite, repelling everything in a destructive wave. When Gojo combines both, he creates hollow purple, a devastating attack that annihilates everything in its path. Talk about terror! With the 6 eyes, Gojo can perceive the flow of cursed energy in extreme detail, making him a tactical genius in battle. It's like having a superpowered magic raider. There is no hiding from Gojo. Finally, his domain expansion, Unlimited Void, traps victims in an overwhelming influx of information, rendering them immobile. It's like trying to sip from a fire hose. The water, in this case, is the entirety of the universe's information. Now that we've unraveled the mystical tapestry of Gojo's phenomenal power, let's teleport him into an arena of battles, squaring him off against our other sorcerers one-on-one. Sadly, it's gonna be impossible to touch every sorcerer in one video, so how about we match him up against the strongest we can find? Let's discover if any among them can stir up a storm against Gojo's might. Kicking off things, we pit Gojo Satoru against Ryumen Sukuna in his human form, a mighty sorcerer who reigned over 1,000 years ago. This guy is the biggest threat for sure. Sukuna in his heyday was no joke. He had strength, speed, agility, the works. Plus, his cursed techniques, Cleaver and Dismantle, could slice and dice any defense into confetti. But what happens when this ancient dread meets our ultra-modern, ultra-cool Gojo? First up, Sukuna's immense speed and agility. While Sukuna can undoubtedly close distances quickly, Gojo's Limitless and Infinity can keep Sukuna at bay. The space between them, manipulated by Gojo, will become an impassable chasm, halting Sukuna's advance. Then, Sukuna may as well try and gather his cursed energy for a powerful attack. But with Gojo's 6 eyes, he might as well be announcing his moves on a loudspeaker. Dodging or countering them is as easy as pie for a blue-eye boy. Finally, Sukuna's Cleaver and Dismantle. In the face of Gojo's limitless techniques, blue and red, these lethal moves would likely dissipate before they could inflict damage, sucked into the blue void or blasted away by the red repulsion. They're more likely to be recycled than to land any hit.
Got him!
So, in a one-on-one showdown, human Sukuna would find himself in quite the predicament against Gojo Satoru. That's 1 down, Sorcerer Squad! On to the next one! Roll up, Sorcerer Squad, time for round 2. Gojo Satoru versus Naobito Sennin. How would our lightning fast head honcho fare against their favorite limitless sorcerer? Naobito is a whirlwind on the battlefield, darting around with his crazy fast 24 frames per second technique. He's like that annoying mosquito that is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Imagine Naobito racing towards Gojo, only to crash against the unseen infinity wall. His hits just won't be strong enough. It's like running full tilt on a treadmill. He is moving, but he's not getting anywhere. In a nutshell, even with Naobito's speed and precision against Gojo's power, it's just gonna be the same as a sports car stuck in traffic jam. Sorry Naobito, looks like the speedy route is closed for you today. Up next is Yuta Kotsu, the power-packed prodigy possessed by the special great curse, Rika. With Rika by his side, Yuta's got more cursed energy than a sorcerer should legally be allowed. Yuta can slice and dice the best of them. With a sword of exorcism, a whirlwind of magical mayhem, then he has the secret weapon, Rika's binding bow, which also cranks his cursed energy up to 11. His immense cursed energy is impressive. Yes, but he could rival Gojo's and surpass him? Unlikely. Ready for another round. Stepping up to the plate against Gojo now is none other than the curse manipulating mastermind, Kenjaku. With his scheming intellect and superb curse manipulation, Kenjaku's a real danger on the sorcerer battlefield. He's like the puppet master of curses, always plotting the next big surprise. But he's facing off against Gojo, the guy who makes surprise parties look predictable. With Gojo's 6 eyes, he can see through Kenjaku's elaborate schemes like he's reading a child's playbook. And Kenjaku's curse attacks? They might just end up being playthings for Gojo's limitless cursed energy. Picture Kenjaku trying to beat Gojo in a snowball fight, while Gojo's wielding a flamethrower. Oh, yikes! So even with all of his cunning tactics and curse prowess, Kenjaku would likely be outmaneuvered by Gojo's extraordinary abilities. Alright, let's move on to Yuki Tsukumo, bringing her crew of cursed spirits into the fray against the ever-unstoppable Gojo Satoru. Yuki's tactical play of controlling her varied spirits might seem like a challenge, akin to a chess game with ever-changing rules. Then in comes Gojo's unlimited void.
Infinite void.
Transforming the battleground into a labyrinth of information. Yuki's spirits trapped in this blizzard, becoming as useful as a GPS in the Bermuda Triangle. So even with her unpredictable style, Yuki might struggle to hold her own against the formidable might of Gojo. It seems our reigning champ continues his streak. Next up, we have Suguru Geto. With his curse manipulation, Geto can command an army of curses, a terrifying sight that could send chills down any sorcerer's spine. But when he's up against Gojo, it's like sending a flock of pigeons to fight a falcon. Gojo's blue, part of his limitless technique, acts like a black hole, sucking in and erasing Geto's curses as if they were never there. Imagine trying to drench someone with a bucket of water, only to find out they can evaporate it instantly. So, Geto's impressive curse manipulation, while usually formidable, appears almost ineffectual against Gojo's limitless. Now, I know you have been waiting for this guy. I'm talking Gojo versus Toji Fushiguro, the infamous sorcerer killer. Toji's a unique contender with his superior physical abilities and curse immunity with his unique heavenly restriction, almost like a superhero who's impervious to magic. This means he could potentially land a hit on Gojo, threading the needle where others simply can't. And here's a fun fact. Toji Fushiguro did manage to shake up a young Gojo in season 2 of the anime and would have killed him if it wasn't for the reverse curse technique. But Gojo isn't the same guy as before. He's a master strategist with even more power. A surprise attack might score Toji some points, but once Gojo adapts, it's a whole new ball game. Add Gojo's purple technique, the cosmic equivalent of a black hole, and Toji's chances start looking less rosy. So while Toji might kick off with an impressive start, outrunning Gojo's tactical genius and power just ain't gonna happen. Finally, it is time! What if all the sorcerers came together in an epic battle against Gojo? So, without further ado, let's see how things would unfold. Emerging from the smoky horizon, all the sorcerers march forward, their faces grim, their resolve steel. An ominous rumble echoes, and the battle begins like an unstoppable storm. Yuki Tsukumo takes the lead, unleashing her army of cursed spirits. Right behind her, Suguru Geto steps in, releasing a flurry of curses. They swarm towards Gojo like a wave, their monstrous forms looming large. But Gojo is unfazed. With a flick of his wrist, he activates blue, sucking in the incoming cursed spirits as if they are mere wisps of smoke. One by one, each sorcerer steps up to the plate. Naobito with his blinding speed, Kenjaku with his cunning curse manipulations, and even Sukuna emanating raw power. But each time Gojo emerges unscathed and activates Red, everyone is sent flying back. Meanwhile, in the midst of this spectacle, Toji Fushiguro stealthily maneuvers his way towards Gojo, using the chaos as distraction. He lunges towards Gojo. A flash of surprise crosses his Gojo's face, but just as Toji is about to strike, Gojo throws purple into play. But Togi uses his cursed speech to stop Gojo, and Toji lands a lethal blow. Gojo trembles in pain for a moment, and then suddenly, Sukuna activates his domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine. With a resigned sigh, Gojo flicks back his silver hair. He turns towards the crowd of battered sorcerers, his icy blue eyes burning with an unspoken challenge. Yoaimo!
弱いもん
Gojo, coughing up blood, powers everything into purple and breaks through the domain. And then, in a breathtaking twist, all the remaining sorcerers in rage step forward, uniting their powers in a desperate final attack. The battlefield trembles under the combined power. Gojo, however, merely smiles. With a surge of power, he releases Unlimited Void. An influx of information engulfs the sorcerers, their senses overloaded, leaving them incapacitated on the battlefield. So, there you have it. If all sorcerers combine their powers, would they stand a chance against Gojo? The answer seems to be a resounding no. But hey, never underestimate the power of teamwork and the spirit of never giving up. Right, Naruto? Click on the next video where we explain all 12 domain expansions. See you next time. This is Anime Yaro.